All right, Mike, what are we doing today?
Tile on the floor, and that's it.
All right, tell
Nothing.
us how this works.
Um, we got a line off. This is the biggest wall. You can strike a line off. So I measured 59, 59. Struck a straight line, so everything's square. Um, and I'm gonna start here, come around here, and then work my way out into the closet. Work my way out the door. I will tell you. Just make sure you lay out your tiles so they're like it's a nice piece on the end. You don't want to come with like a 1/4 inch piece on the end or 3/4 inch piece on the end. I kind of like at least like a 5 inch piece if you're doing an 18 by 18. So I kind of laid it out that way. I kind of like to start off the tub. It makes it easier to have a nice square edge off the tub. Sometimes you can do that, sometimes you can't. This time we can, but we'll do that. I got porcelain or ceramic tile, which I don't like as much. It's not as durable and good, but I like the pattern on it, so I went with that. But with the ceramic tile, I'll make sure to wet the back of the tile, wet the floor, so you have good adhesion. And I got the better thin set, so hopefully it lasts longer. But we'll do that, and then hopefully grout later tonight.
What are you doing, Mike?
I'm just moistening the back so I get better adhesion in the floor with the ceramic. It's not as good tile, but after I do that, get some thin set.
What's the difference between thin set and like,
Well, they make different kinds of thin set for different types of tile, for different applications, thickness. So your thin set you're gonna do, we're just doing 1/4 inch here. But usually you want to get the white thin set because you don't see it. Like it doesn't get as messy when you go to grout. You don't see this much stuff like that. So, and it's the better kind. Doing this floor application, it doesn't matter which way you do your troweling. Sometimes it matters, like on the walls and stuff. On the floor, it doesn't matter. Just try to keep it all the same.
what's the purpose of the trowel?
Huh?
What's the purpose of the troweling?
You want a notch groove, so when you put your tile down, it collapses the ridges. We'll put it down gently, get it on our line, and give it a nice little something something. And that should be good. Make sure none of the thin set is popping out in your grooves. We'll show you a trick in a little bit.
What grooves over where?
Like in between your tiles. Usually
Yeah.
the thin set pops out, you're gonna have to get that out later when it's dried up before you grout. It's a pain. So we'll show you a trick in a little bit. Also, as you're going, let me see if I can get my spackle knife. Where it is. Here it is. Like I'm not gonna come back to this spot for a little while, so I'm gonna clean that thin set up. Because you don't want it drying up too much. We'll just leave it there for now. So that's how you do it. When you get the next one, put the back a little bit to get good adhesion. Gently put it on. Get your spacer ready. Make sure we're on our line.
And the spacers just keep them from butting together, right?
Evenly spaced. Yeah, we're doing 3/16. Make sure your ridges are somewhat level. They ain't gonna be perfect unless the floor is perfect. But you want to get it somewhat level. And then boom. Give it a nice little something something. That's that. This one we're gonna have to cut. All right, we're gonna cut our hole for the toilet. Luckily there's no flange there, so we don't have to be super perfect. I usually like to use a grinder. I'm just using this blade because this is what I got, but usually I like to use a segmented diamond blade. But all you do is you kind of, like, I don't care too much on this because the flange isn't down, but if the flange is down, you're gonna have to work it because obviously you ain't gonna be able to cut that circle perfect. You gotta work it like this to try to cut it out. All right, we got it cut out like you see. I made my line, my circle line, and I started the saw shorter than the line. So once you bevel it in, you eventually get
the
out.
pencil, right? The pencil line.
Yeah, you eventually bevel out to that line. So if you see, like, that's my line there. I got pretty close. Like I said, this one doesn't have to be super close. But now you can always cut it smaller, and then see if it fits. And if it doesn't fit, then you can recut it. But if you cut it too big, you're gonna be pissed off. With the toilet flange, especially on the left or the right of the where the toilet's gonna go, you want to be tight to that flange because there's not a big reveal on the porcelain on that. So make sure you don't want to be too much. Let's go see if she fits. And she fits like a glove.
It's almost like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. When you're tiling the floor around the toilet flange, but especially if you're doing one of them soaker tubs and you want to have a spout coming out and loop into your soaker tub, you want to make sure you get a lot, like, nice thin set adhesion around that hole. So if you ever have to tighten, like, especially them tub spouts, you have to tighten it down to the tile. If you don't have a good thing of thin set underneath there, you'll crack the tile real easily. So you really want to make sure, especially on them tubs, that you get good thin set underneath. So this one I bumped it up a little bit on my right side because the floor is low on my right side, but here's the trick I wanted to show you.
Yeah, I see some of this thin set coming
It's
out.
really pushing through there. So I got one of my fancy toothbrushes. We're gonna be auctioning this off. It's Mikey Plum's toothbrush from Jews with Screws. All you do is bing bang boom.
You mean you're not gonna use it after you're done?
And you get the thin set out, just like that. You want to do this while you go along because it's a pain the next day to chip out dried up thin set. You could chip the tile by accident and stuff. I've done that before. So you really want, the cleaner you are when you're thin setting, the less cleanup you have to do before you go to grout.